What is the secret to a great marriage? Hi, welcome to today's little lesson. This is especially for people who are married or people who want to get married. Is there a secret to having a great marriage? And I think that there is. I've been married for 38 years and I think I have a great marriage. If I was going to break it down as to why, well, of course, I've got a great wife. That's it. But what makes her so great? And have I helped out at all in this equation? Well, what makes my wife so great is that she is so unselfish, and she endeavors to let me know that she loves me and appreciates me, and that makes me feel loved, and that makes me feel appreciated, and then naturally I want to reciprocate back to her with love and appreciation as well, and it becomes a non-vicious cycle where you sow love and you reap it, and so when you reap it, you want to sow some more. And we've seen, of course, that vicious cycle, the opposite of what I'm talking about, works exactly in reverse. People get married, obviously they're in love, they think they have every chance of success, but then something goes wrong, and there's that death spiral that starts, and sometimes it goes on for years. And it's a vicious circle that feeds itself. People say, well, I'm not getting what I want. She's not, doing what I want her to do. She's not the way I want her to be, or he's not doing what I want, and I want to get my way. And so you start complaining about that and telling the other person what's wrong, and then they justify themselves and they start telling you what's wrong with you, and this feeds on itself, and it just builds up layers and layers and layers of hurt and scars, wounds that sometimes just fester for a long time. When sharp words are spoken, they can have an effect for a long time. The only way to undo those sharp words, by the way, is to ask for forgiveness and try to do better from then on. But anyways, you can reverse the vicious cycle to the non-vicious cycle at any point in time. The deeper you are in the death spiral of a bad marriage, it does take a little time to get back out of it, but it's very, very, very possible by simply reversing what you're doing. Instead of finding fault, find what's good in that person. Instead of criticizing, start complimenting, and instead of ignoring, start paying attention, and instead of being insensitive, start being sensitive. You say, but what if they don't change? Well, again, as long as you have that mentality, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You have to go into this with all the faith that you have and say to yourself, no matter what this other person does, whether they react rightly or wrongly, I'm gonna be unselfish. I'm gonna prove that I love them. I'm gonna be a servant. And I think I can pretty much assure you that your spouse will see the difference, and they might not come around the first day or the second day, but eventually they'll come around. Heard a story years ago about a woman who was at the bottom of that death spiral, and so she went to see a counselor, and she said, I'm getting ready to divorce my husband, but I hate this guy. Even though I thought I loved him when we got married, I hate him. He's hurt me so badly, and I just want to, I don't want to kill him, but I do want to get some revenge here. What do you suggest? And he said, well, what you ought to do, if you really want to make it hurt, is just start serving him, and start loving him, and complimenting him, and being as kind as you possibly can to him, and then when you divorce him, he'll realize, oh my goodness, what am I losing? This wonderful woman who serves me and loves me so much. She rubbed her hands together. What a great plan. You probably can already figure out how this story ends, but I'm going to tell it to you anyways. And so she goes home. She starts complimenting him, finding the good in him, serving him in ways large and small, being sensitive to him, not saying negative things anymore. Even when he was insensitive, she would just, you know, overcome good evil, and just working according to the plan, you know. Well, that counselor saw her a few weeks later on the street somewhere and said, well, I guess it's all over now, you know. How did the jerk take it when you finally broke the news to him that you were going to divorce him? And she said, what are you talking about, jerk? I'm married to the greatest man on the planet. Of course, you know, what's the moral of the story here? Well, she was able to change him by changing herself. And so if you want to start off, you want to know where to start off on this, tomorrow morning when you wake up, say to your spouse, what one thing could I do for you today that could prove my love for you? Just tell me, and then I'm going to do it, and then do it. Or you want to take a bigger chunk to say, there's one thing you'd change about me, what would it be? Because I love you and I want to please you. And then listen, see what your spouse says, and work on changing. And as they see your effort, you know, they're going to take notice, and you're going to reap what you have sown. And I guarantee you, I've, you know, observed this enough times over my adult life and other people's lives. When you sow unselfishness, you reap unselfishness, and that's what makes marriages that are made in heaven. It's two people who really aren't in it for themselves. They're in it for the other person, but they're reaping marvelous benefits because of that decision to be unselfish. Okay, well, that's today's little lesson, Florida Beach edition. Thanks for joining me. Till next time, God bless you.